up, keeps the shadows at bay. Pour it hot, pour it strong, life's a blur till it comes along. Oh, devil's brew, you got me hooked. One sip and I'm already cooked. Drip drop whispers from the coffee pot. Each little gurgle hits a perfect spot. A liquid hug that says I'm all you've got. Oh, bittersweet addiction. You're my only conviction. Pour it high, pour it strong. Life's a blur till it comes along. Oh, devil's brew, you got me hooked. One sip and I'm already cooked. Espresso, latte, Americano too. Don't care the form, just give me my brew. It's a love affair I can't undo.
And we're back, folks. 4 hours of waiting, and that's when I got in. It was a bit chaotic on the website, but I had a plan. I had it all mapped out. I had a map in front of myself with all the destinations, the games. I had the schedule, which I had incorrect information because they changed it a little bit when they first published this. The dates are slightly wrong, which makes a big difference whether you can get from one place to another. So one game fell out, but I picked up a game in its place. What I did is I had a game Fiji and Spain, October 3rd, but that's not the day that game is being played, or it is, and it just doesn't match. The other dates are wrong. So originally they had Adelaide for October 1st and 2nd, and then so I said I'd fly to Newcastle on the 3rd, but it's the 2nd and 3rd in Adelaide, so I can't be in Newcastle on the 3rd, so I had to drop the Fiji versus Spain, but the site worked. It worked. Yeah, I did get tickets, Smiths. I did. I was successful in all but that, but now I've got to fix a few things. So I'm seeing one fewer venue. I'll have to look and see if anything else is feasible. My initial take on this is that I've done what I can here. So Newcastle gets taken off the mix, so I'm seeing fewer, which is disappointing. Only 13 teams. Yeah, this is a hard one to do. So the USA is going to be a hard one too. So Newcastle comes off here. So that means that I'm only going to see Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth, 4 of the 7 towns, which kind of sucks when it was 5. I'll see if I can't find a way to fix Melbourne and get in there, maybe stay another week later. But what I did is I picked up one of the playoff games, and it's a game I presume will be one that works. So, yeah, I have to look and see the schedule here and see what comes after. Just give me a second here. I've got it up somewhere. Where's it at? It's over here, I think. Ticketing. Oh, that's not match schedule. Okay, match schedule. So Pool B, and that's game round of 16-4. Round of 16-4 winner. Okay. Plays in Sydney, so that's not even Melbourne. Yeah, so Melbourne can't do that. Yeah, on the 24th. Wait a second. The 24th, Sydney would be round of 16. I don't know, where's Melbourne? Sunday the 24th at 4:45. So that's possible. I'll have to look at this and see if it's doable to come from Perth back to Melbourne to check the flights on that and what happens and what's doable. But I could go. I'm expecting South Africa to win Pool B, which means they'll be playing in Perth on the 23rd, which is the week after their final game. And so that's Pool B winner versus third in Pool D, E, and F. So they should win that. So that's round of 16. Round of 16, game 4 plays, but that's on the 23rd. On the 24th, there's a game in Melbourne, and I could pick up Melbourne, which I haven't done. So I don't usually do the knockout stages, but this would keep me there to do the knockout stages 24th. I can do 2 of those games. Yeah. And I can do back-to-back. And Melbourne. Yeah, I could do that, and that would get me Melbourne. It would get me 2 playoff games. But I wouldn't know who that would be. But South Africa, if they win, would play in Sydney on the 30th in the quarterfinal, which makes sense. And then I booked that one. Yeah, the quarterfinal. So I could do and stay. Yeah, and that would just get me there for a full month. That's what I should do, is go back in and try to buy tickets for that and hope that South Africa advances that far, which I think they will. So that means I need to add, if I can get in here. So that would be, so I've got the one on the 23rd, 24th in Sydney. No, in Melbourne, excuse me. Come on, Melbourne. 16:45. That's good. That's late in the day. Melbourne. Okay, and that would be Pool D. Who's in Pool D? First place in Pool D. That's going to be, Pool D is Ireland or Scotland. Okay, that would be good. Okay. Okay, Pool D in Melbourne. And then the 30th, and that would wrap it up. Okay, 30 October. Okay, 30 October is going to be Sydney. That's quarterfinal. That's winner R16-4. R16-4, okay. Yep, 16:45, 30 October, and that's Sydney. And that would be a flying out of there, so I go out after that. That's cool. That would work. So, all right, that'll work. I have to add those 2 games. Yep, then maybe I get a few more teams. All right, there you go, folks. Wow. Let's see if I can get back in there. Let me see if I can get back in there. Buy tickets, or am I in the queue again? Let's see what happens. It lets me back in. Okay, browsing activity paused. Okay, let me hear tickets. Let me try this and see if I'm back in the queue again. Probably back in the queue. If I do, I'll just wait till later and try to get these tickets. It's not the end of the world. It's not a train smash. Get a new place in the queue. Okay. Got to prove I'm a real user. Let's see if it's a long line. We'll see. I think the site's still pretty busy. Join the waiting room. Okay. Now let's see how far I am. Okay. I'll just leave it up there. If I get back in while we're live, I'll get back in. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. All right. Cool. So, yeah, that's 2 more. I didn't have to see. That took about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm not entirely sure. I need to check. So, yep. No, I don't know if it'll go faster. There's still a lot of people, so hopefully I can get those tickets. But yeah, so I got the tickets I was looking for minus the 1 game. So I like to see as many teams as possible, and I never go. But the problem is that they've reformatted. Now it's 24 teams, and there's only 3 pool stage games, which is ludicrous. So then you have a round of 16, so half the teams advance. Or almost half the teams advance, more than half. So I got the games. So, but I didn't get particularly great tickets. I didn't get myself great tickets. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. Although the good news is this is in Australian dollars, which is only 70 cents on the dollar for the U.S., even though the dollar has gone down. But I did get, so I updated this. Let's see, with this schedule, I'll be able to see Argentina, Fiji, France, Georgia, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Portugal, Romania, South Africa, USA, Wales, and Zimbabwe. So I really look forward to seeing France, because I haven't seen France in a World Cup since Japan when they played the USA. Georgia, I don't think I've ever seen Georgia in a World Cup. I'm trying to remember if I have. So that'll be exciting. Ireland, I love to see all the time. Japan, I love seeing. I want to see Portugal and France when they qualify, but I couldn't get a ticket for that one because of the scheduling. South Africa, of course, USA, and Zimbabwe I look forward to seeing, so that's kind of cool. So right now I have 1 knockout stage game. If I get it back in, then I'll have the second knockout that same weekend, and then the following weekend, which should be the South Africans in the quarterfinal, which would be pretty cool. And that'll get me back to Sydney, too, which makes sense. So, Anyway, there you go. The way this is set up now, I'll get to spend about a week out in Western Australia for Perth. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, yep. Hey, what a welcome surprise. Well, I'm back, but nobody's here. Shows YouTube doesn't promote things anyway, but it's a short notice stream. It's less than 30 minutes, so people don't know about it. Anyway, so yeah. Yep, so that's 9 tickets. So no. It just means that no, not all the tickets are sold. It just means that you get a spot in the window and you wait your time out. So I may have to wait till tomorrow and try to go in again. But you have to have a plan. I had a plan, and if I didn't have a plan, see, the problem is Australia is massive. I mean, it is huge. It is huge. I mean, it is not a small country. So let me do this real quick. Okay. All right. So let me show you just the travel here. Okay. Well, I don't know if I want to do that. That's my travel plans. I'm not going to show you that. But what I can show you is where the games are at, and just let me find that. That image is somewhere here. Hang on. I'll do that rather than show you my plans. Here's the World Cup. So these, all right, here you go. So this is what we want to see. I'll show you this. Okay, so just to give you an idea how far these things are. So there you go. So that's the World Cup destinations. You got 2 next to each other, Newcastle, Sydney. I don't have a ticket for Newcastle now because it didn't work out. Townsville is too far away. Brisbane, doable. So, let's see. So hang on a second. Let me turn that off and look at what I've got. Oh, wait, hang on a second. I know what it is. Let me go here. Going from Adelaide. Okay, Adelaide to Perth. Let's see how long that flight is, okay? Flight from Adelaide to Perth. Okay, flight. Oops, come on. I want Google. Flight time. Come on. Why is Google taking... Are they having trouble with their internet now, too? Flight time, Adelaide to Perth. There you go. Okay, 3 hours maybe, I'm guessing. Maybe it's further. 3.5 hours. Yeah, almost 4 hours. Okay. All right. So then from Perth to Sydney, okay, to Melbourne, excuse me, Perth to Melbourne. Perth to Melbourne, Australia. And that is probably 4.5 hours. No, 3 hours and 34 minutes, same thing. All tailwinds. That's why. Okay, you got headwinds going nowhere, because that's not bad. It's 2,700 kilometers. So you can fly back and forth. And then flight time from Melbourne to Sydney. It's probably like an hour. Flight time, Sydney. Okay. That for a flight is an hour and a half. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, so anyway, so how am I doing in the queue? Am I going to be a long queue again? Let's see. Yes, I'm here. Are you still here? They asked me. I'm still here. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, the tickets were... What does this say? Oh, 11:52. That was when I went in. Okay, so... Pam Golding's Mozambique corruption scandal. What's going on here? Pam Golding's a real estate company in Australia and South Africa. Management of bribes paid to former president's son. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Pam Golding. Anyway, yeah, so, all right, so sorry about that. So, yeah. Well, Stefan, that's why I buy my tickets a little bit of a time well in advance. Yep. So, yep, I know that. Don't sweat that. They will spike. They'll try to gouge people. But this is such a huge country. I mean, it's 3,000 kilometers. I'm not going to drive from Adelaide to Perth. That alone is 2,700 kilometers. It's a continent. So, yes, I have to fly out there. But I'll spend a week and there's a lot of South Africans in Perth. So, I'm really looking forward to that. That's really cool. Yep. So, 30, 40,000, 50,000, whatever the real number is of South Africans out there. I heard 16,000 and 30,000 and 40,000. Who knows what the real number is? But that should be fun. Yeah. So I've got all the pool stage games for the Springboks, even though they didn't sell a team ticket like they used to in the past. So no, Meerkat's my pleasure to spend the journey. And when it comes time for that, I'll share it with everybody. We'll be doing lots of stuff. Domestic, only cardboard producers set to close. My goodness, that's crazy. Thank you, Henry Swanepoel. I haven't seen that there. Night of Justice, I've never been to Australia too. I have been to the airport in Sydney. I landed there on my way to the 2011 Rugby World Cup, which was really cool. 2011 Rugby World Cup was awesome. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I got that image somewhere. Let me find. So that would be on my Facebook account. It'd be a photo I had there, so I have to download it. Let me get into my Facebook account if it'll let me in. Okay, it let me in there. So let's get to this one here, and then look at my pictures. So, boy, Facebook is slow tonight too. Is it the internet or is it just me? Okay, get to my page. Okay. Okay, there we go. Gosh bless, it's really slow. I don't think I showed you guys this picture today. This will be my last graduation, if I remember correctly. I think that was the last one. Oh, no, it's 2018, sorry. Not the last one, next to last one. Okay, so let me go back here. And I want to get my photos. Hang on a second. Come on, load the pictures, man. One of these should be back from very slow. I want a reel. Where's my pictures? There should be more pictures here. How is that not here? I had to work your photos. Photos of you, that's why. I don't want photos of me. I want a picture of the Rugby World Cup. That should be in here. I made this thing. Where's that at? Is that France? Yeah, that's France. Where is it, France? What is this? I forgot that I saw all that. Okay, come on. Where are the rest of these pictures at? Come on. Did not put that many up here. Oh, my goodness. I don't do my Facebook very much. Skalk Brits. That's a while ago. Fort Trekker Monument. Durban. We're getting back there now. Come on. Wow. Isan Luana. Oh, that's pretty cool. Japan. I don't do Facebook very much. I was surprised I have this many photographs on here. I never really did Facebook very much. I didn't care for it. Oh, that was a deer that died. Good Lord. These are pictures I don't remember. Oh, here's the aluminum cans I recycle. Let me save that. Show you a picture of that. Okay, I'm trying to get to the 2011 World Cup. I have that picture here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Finally. No, that's 2019. Good Lord. Well, here's when I won my last trophy. We won this is the last one. I won a bunch of these trophies when I was playing softball in the Army, last few years especially. My goodness. Do I actually have this many images on Facebook? I had no idea. This is crazy. What's that? Somebody just did something. Morning, I'm Wyatt. I missed the lives, but you can't count on this view and just like afterwards. Just want to say once again, thank you for what you do for us. Why do you miss the... Oh, you always miss them. Why? Is it because it's the wrong time? Well, I think if we're always serious about growing the game, they should invest in getting World Cup winning coaches. Yeah, I agree. They also should get more competitions, more people a chance to play in those. Yeah, so... I want to show you Santa Perevian. Wow, that's old. Oh, my goodness. Okay, where's this at? Steamed crabs. There's my father. Oh, there's no way I put this many pictures on Facebook. Is it really? I have no idea. Jeez, I so seldom use it. I guess I must have posted it. Over the years, you post things whether you realize it or not. It's so slow, too, this page. It's loading all these pictures. There's 3 Mile Island. At some point, I've got to get past where I lived in Pennsylvania. I'm trying to get back to that now. This is crazy. Wow. Oh, boy. Oh, there's one of my favorite pictures there. I'll show you guys that too. We're done here. This was one I recreated from 1984. I did in 20-something. Or 2022. I got mixed up photos here that come from different times in here now. It's crazy. None of these have descriptions, so I just have to keep going through them. It's just taking forever to get to the bottom here. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. And it would be one of the oldest posts I did, so even though I've had Facebook since the outset, I've never really liked it and used it all that much. Surprised how many things I put on here. So here's another one. It's another medal I got from playing softball. Okay, so I'll share that one too when we're done. Ay. Come on. Okay, that's Sweden. That goes back to 2011, I think. There's older photographs. Okay, here we go. I got some New Zealand. Is that New Zealand? No, that's East Africa. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to give up here in a second. There's New Zealand pictures. Now, where's that one that's close to where I went? Well, this is Cape Town a long time ago. When was this? Come on, load the damn picture. This is 2014. Okay. Come on. God, freaking Facebook is so slow. Oh, this is a cool picture. I think I've shown this to you guys before. This is flying over Greenland. Oh my God, it's slow. The internet sucks tonight. Okay. There it is. I finally got it. That only took a half an hour. All right, so, okay, 2011 Rugby World Cup travel. So I can show you this and show you all the games I went to. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. So, wow. That took a while, guys. Sorry about that. Where am I in the queue? I'm not budging in the queue. I'm probably not going to get back in tonight. That's too far. Okay. I think I need sponsorship for that Baltimore game. Do you know what that damn game cost? I got the cheapest ticket. It was $140 way up north, top of the stadium. Okay. Not being negative with Facebook is just the total information awareness project family photos. Yeah, that's why it's locked. I don't let anybody join. I don't accept invitation, or I don't accept a request on Facebook. Documentary on the West Coast under Perth, a barren desert to thousands of cliffs, the ocean, one of the most inhospitable empty places like Skeleton Close. Well, we'll see. Cheapest seats at Baltimore versus 2,000 Rand. Yeah, it's more than 2,000 Rand there, Night of Justice, yep. Oh, you got a notification right now. That's cool. Georgia has a team. Yeah. Mississippi. Ha ha ha. Dad joke. Gotcha. Okay. All right, let me show you some of these pictures now. I just downloaded since I took the time to download them. Okay, here we go. Let's see what I got. All right, this is the one I want to show you. This is what took so long. This was my plan in 2011. So what happened is that I had requested, I was supposed to be the attaché in Chad, and I requested to go to Chad. And I talked to the ambassador. I was supposed to arrive, and then the World Cup was about 5 months later. He said I could go. And then a general officer found out that I was in the attaché course and diverted me to Germany. And I went to Germany instead, to the African Command. But I got there later because I was replacing somebody. So they left and I came. And as a consequence, I was only there a short time before the World Cup. I got there in late July. And the World Cup was in September. So there's no way I can rock up to a place and just go to a World Cup. And I was so disappointed because since 2007, when the Springboks won in Paris, I had been talking about going to the World Cup in New Zealand. I'd never been, so this was going to be my first time, and then I couldn't go. Well, they reorganized the division I was in because I was just a lieutenant colonel, and you had to have a colonel in charge. All the other divisions had, geographic divisions had colonels in charge. They took my geographic division from the southern part of Africa and stuck it under international military engagements, which is a joke. And then they put me in there. And I worked for an idiot colonel who was promoted 3 ranks above her talent, and she was a full colonel, knew nothing about Africa. So when it reformed like that and she didn't want me around, I said, well, can I take leave and go to the World Cup? She's like, yeah, sure. So I went to the ticketing office, which used to do leisure travel plus government travel. Then they stopped doing leisure travel, but the contract allowed for that at that time. And I said, look, I need to get a ticket to New Zealand. So the first one they came up was like $6,800. I'm like, never mind that. I don't have that kind of money. Can you try a different route? And they tried a different route, and it was still $4,000 some dollars or $3,000 some dollars. I'm like, that's a lot of money. So finally I said, look, how about if I go through South Africa? Can you fly me to South Africa? A lot of South Africans go, and maybe it's cheaper. So they booked me on British Airways to London, and then from London to South Africa, and then I carried on from there, and I went. And it would count up being $1,600 or $1,800 round trip. I'm like, yeah. But coming back, I went from New Zealand to Hong Kong to London and back to Germany. But $1,800. It was great. So I didn't have any tickets. I arrived in New Zealand, and I had no tickets. And I had a rental car reservation with Avis, and I had I think I was using BlackBerry then. I still had my BlackBerry. And so I got off the plane. That was the night that Ireland beat Australia 15-9. There was nothing but penalties kicked. And the Kiwis loved it. They were stoked. They were chuffed that the New Zealanders, that the Australians got beat. So it was also where I had my brand new hiking boots, which I still have. I had never worn them. Never worn them. I bought them. And I was going to walk around New Zealand with it. And they wanted to give me a body cavity search, trying to check them. Like, do you have shoes? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a new pair of boots. Let's see them. And they tear my suitcase open. And they're pulling them out, and they're looking at them, looking for seeds and for any contamination. Meanwhile, I didn't know you're not allowed to take biltong into New Zealand. Like a kg and a half or 2 kgs of biltong that was in my carry-on. They didn't ask about that. So I walk through, I finish the airport, which is not that big. I walk out, and then I see where they're selling SIM cards, and I got a SIM card for the BlackBerry for a package. Like, it's not Vodacom, but Vodafone, whatever it is there. And it covered the whole time, and it was a good deal. So that's what I used for my data. And so I went and picked my car up to walk out to it. Still had a hip then. And then I didn't have a room for that. It was after midnight. And I drove, and I found a Holiday Inn just down the road from the airport. And I pulled in. Do you have a room? Yep. It was like 130 New Zealand for the night, which wound up being about 90 or 80 US dollars. And it was the biggest room I had the entire time in New Zealand. And had good internet and couldn't sleep. I finally fell asleep about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Got up in the morning, got in the rental car, drove into Auckland, and I got cut off trying to make my turn. And so I had to make another turn to turn around. And instead of going downtown, I wound up going through part of town. I'm driving along through streets and, stop signs and robots, and it's taking a long time. I saw Wendy's, so I pulled into the Wendy's. Hey, Wendy's. I got something to eat, and I got a newspaper. And then I'm looking at the games and what games are going on. Well, there was a game in Wellington that day. So I'm like, that's where I'm going to go. Wales was playing Samoa, I think it was. So I looked at the map, and I figured, is it doable? Yeah, the game's this afternoon. That's 90 kilometers, so it's probably, whatever. I forget the time was. But anyway, I figured 1.5 times the distance in time, and that's what is a good measure. I drove, and as I was getting down towards not Wellington. What's Hamilton? It was towards Hamilton, not Wellington. Hamilton. So I was getting close to Hamilton. I could see in front of me just a massive traffic jam going to Hamilton, and there was an exit. So I got off the exit and went over the overpass, and I sat up in an overwatch position on the east side of the road. I pulled over to the side, and I'm looking, and as far as I can see, and I can't see Hamilton. It's still too far away. It's probably 30 kilometers away. All I can see is traffic going south. I'm like, that's not good. So while I'm sitting there, these Australians pull up, and there's huge bucky that they brought over from Australia. Like, hey, what's up, mate? You going to the game? I'm like, yeah, I'm headed to the game. Follow us. We're going to the game. We got GPS. Okay. But I already looked at the map. I could see there was a ridge line running north and south to the east. And then if you go through the ridge line, you can go down a parallel road. And I figured it'd be less traffic and traveled. And it was. So I follow them, and you go through the pass, and you go through the mountains, and it's a T-junction like this. You can go left, you can go right. Well, left is north and right is south. Hamilton is south. I don't need GPS to tell me which direction I need to go. So they're in front of me in their truck. They turn left. I'm like, what the hell? So I turned right and I went south. A few minutes later, they come back and they're just kind of sheepish and pass me. Like, okay, they passed me, get in front of me. So I let them get in front of me again. Follow them all the way down. Then you get to Hamilton, which has a road around the north side of the town, like this, kind of like a ring. And the stadium is located over in town, which is kind of to the west of there. So once again, you can turn left or you can turn right. Well, the stadium is this way. So I went that way. They went left. Again. A few minutes later, they came back after turning around. I got stopped the robot. They came alongside me like, hey, sorry. They got in front of me again. We drove towards the stadium, and we drove into a residential neighborhood. And every space on the street was parked on the side, next to the sidewalk. They got the last spot. And I'm not going to double park and block somebody. So I said, okay, guys, take care. Good luck at the game. Now, mind you, I didn't have a ticket. So I drove back up, and I wound up in the center of town. And I'm driving in the center of town. I don't know where the stadium's at. I can't see it, but I can hear noise because people are getting all rowdy for the game. And there was one of the volunteers wearing their teal jackets. Oh, gosh, I wish I could have one of those volunteer teal jackets from New Zealand. They were the best ever. Anyway, she was a Maori, and I said, excuse me, because she had me turn around. I couldn't go in this one part of town. They were blocking the street. I said, where's the stadium at? I'm looking for the stadium. She goes, it's right over there. Just go down 2 streets. So I went down, turn left, went down 2 streets, turned in, and I could hear it really loud now. And I was kind of like just not too far from the stadium, and there was like a primary school there, and they were letting people park. It was like $50 or something like that. Norwegian. It wasn't that much. It was less than anyway. It worked out to be whatever $10 was. I forget the time. I forget what the exchange rate was. Anyway, so I parked like literally 150 meters from the stadium for like $10. I got out and I walked over to the ticketing booth, sold out. Like, damn. But my plan was always I'd find a pub and hang out in the pub and watch it. It's New Zealand. Everybody be watching rugby. So I'm there. I've told this story before. People who have been here for a long time know this story, but maybe new people don't know the story. But I walk over. It was wet because muddy there, and I'm walking around the mud. And this volunteer in the teal jacket says to me, are you looking for tickets? I said, yeah. And they're selling tickets. So people were selling their tickets. I was kind of leery about buying them, but these are paper tickets, so not a big deal. So I said, yeah, can I get it? And they go, who's with you? I said, I'm by myself. Well, we want to sell the tickets to a couple. I'm like, a couple? And then someone says, we're a couple. And they came over and they snatched the tickets out from under me because they didn't want to sell one ticket. They want to sell both. So I'm like, damn. So then the volunteer saw that I didn't get a ticket, and there was another guy there, an Irish guy was hanging out, and he was looking for tickets too. And she says, you guys are looking for tickets, right? You're looking for a ticket? I said, yeah. So this other guy said, yeah, I got 2 tickets. I said, yeah, I only need one. I'm trying to sell to a couple. I'm like, oh, come on, man. And I thought about it. I said, oh, I put my arm around the Irish guy. I said, we're a couple. And the Irish guy's like, yeah, mate, we're a couple. Yeah, Sean Bigora, we're a couple here. Yeah, we've been long-time friends and lovers. So the guy goes, okay, fine. He sold me the ticket. I want to say it was like, was it 50 New Zealand dollars or 90? I can't remember. It was 90. I can't remember. I have to look at the ticket. So now I have a ticket. I have a parking space. I have a ticket. I don't have where to stay for the night. It's afternoon, like 3 o'clock or something like that, 3:30. So I walk in, and I'm like, this must be a crappy ticket, So I walk in. Well, first of all, I walked in. I went and bought a hoodie, not a hoodie, but a jersey, a Wales jersey, because Wales was playing, and I bought a Wales cap. I still have them. This is 2011, my first World Cup. I walk in, and I'm, swear to God, sitting dead center, 6 rows up, the best seat you could possibly find. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Now, the game wasn't that great. It was 17-10, and it's the first professional rugby game I ever went to, if I recall correctly. Yeah, first one I ever went to was in Wales and Samoa in Hamilton, New Zealand. So when I'm done, the game's over. It was great. I enjoyed it. Wales won. I left there, and now I need lodging for the evening. So I drive into town. I'm looking, this is before, people were searching much on the internet. It was possible, but anyway, I don't have internet connection up on my BlackBerry. So I'm looking. I stop in one hotel, and they went like $400. I'm like, no. Another one wanted $500. They jacked up the prices. Then I found a place for 160, 175 New Zealand. That was like 120 or something. Okay, that's fine. And they had something most hotels didn't offer back then: free Wi-Fi. I'm like, this is kismet. So I found free Wi-Fi. Okay, I came in and I talked to the concierge. Well, first off, it looked kind of dumpy from the outside. It was the oldest hotel in Hamilton. So I'm like, ugh. And I was parked down the street. You can only park a certain amount of time. Worried about getting a ticket. So I went in. Excuse me. And the guy said they had a room. I said, can I look at it? I looked at it. I'm like, that's fine. That's good. And then so I came down. I said, are there any Indian restaurants around? He said, yeah, there's one. And so he told me where it was at. And then I went upstairs. I plugged my laptop in, and I looked at the map. And this is what I came up with. and I bought all these tickets, minus the one in Hamilton, which was the first one I went to. Yeah, and so, yeah, it was September 18th, 3:30 was the game. In fact, here it is. I have a schedule. I put this up and posted. This was my plan. So this is 2011 World Cup. My first game was 18 September 2011, 3:30 in Hamilton. That was Wales versus Samoa. It's spelled Samoa. It should Samoa. I spelled it wrong. And from then, I went in the hotel and I bought all my other tickets. And I got tickets for the 22nd back up in Auckland, which was South Africa versus Namibia. And then I drove from there. Something's missing here. No, I drove from there all the way down. I had Australia versus USA on the 23rd. Then I had Argentina versus Scotland on the 25th. Then I had Wales versus Namibia on the 26th. In Taranaki, I drove back up to Auckland, parked my car at the airport, flew to Hamilton on the 27th, and I caught that game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 games. I thought I had 8 games, but 6 games. Yep. And so I got to see Wellington, New Plymouth, Nelson, Hamilton, and Auckland. And also went to Rotorua. I covered, I did a bunch of stuff in between. I went skiing there. It was really cool. So that was my 2011 Rugby World Cup experience, and it was pretty wild, pretty wild. So yeah, I enjoyed that. It was kind of cool. No, they weren't scalp tickets. There were people who had tickets that they didn't want to go to the game. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, that's not working right. So I see YouTube is acting up again at this hour. Okay, content. Okay, live. It's not letting me see my broadcast here. Oh my goodness. Come on, YouTube. YouTube is acting up. I hope I'm still broadcasting. If I'm still broadcasting, can you tell me in the chat? Because I can't tell that. YouTube is acting up. A bunch of these websites had trouble. So let me see. By the way, let me see if I'm doing anything in the queue here. No, I'm not budging the queue. It looks like it's a 4-hour wait still. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Studio. Okay, let me try studio here and see if I can get in. I can't get in my studio. Anyway, so, yeah, so that was, wow. It is really, really, really slow. Content. YouTube's got trouble. As long as it's broadcasting, it's not the end of the world, but I can't get to the stream. It's crazy. Okay, there we go. Now let's try it again. All right, now it's loading up again, so that's good to see. Yeah, so I got to see the glowworms caves. I got to see the geysers, all the cool stuff, the volcanoes. I went skiing. It was really epic, and that's the only time I've ever been to New Zealand. I'd love to go back, but their politics got pretty nasty. Yep. All right. So, yep, there I am alive. Okay, cool. All right. So now I want to show you a few more pictures after talking about that. Okay. So this is, here you go. Where you at? Okay, come on. This is Greenland when I flew over it on my way to California in 2012, I think it was. Check this out. How cool is that? How cool is that? Snow as far as you can see. Or maybe that's Canada. I thought it was Greenland, though. But really cool, huh? Loretta, yes, I got my tickets, but I'm logging back in because I figured out 2 more games to go to. Oh, there's a 70 Rand from Riffs Hard. Thank you so much for that. It's becoming your standard, man. 70 Rand. Thank you so much. All right, so that was pretty cool, huh? Did you guys like that one? That's an amazing photograph. I love that photograph. All right, so now let me show you another one here. Here's Cape Town in 2014 on Table Mountain. Okay. Okay, here you go. So check this out. There you go. I think I still have that shirt, although I'm going to give it to charity. That's Cape Town in 2014. Look out there on that curve that goes around Cape Town to the north, out there by Parklands and all that. Not really developed in 2014. That stuff is all filled up with people now. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's almost, it's all getting developed or developed out there. Yeah, not the best photograph. Whoever took it moved, and so it's kind of fuzzy. Yeah, the glowworms cave was incredible. I enjoyed that. That's when I won a medal for playing softball at the Army War College. Yep. It was one of my medals for winning. That's one of my favorite photographs. That's from Innsbruck. I did that when I went to Germany for a conference. Unfortunately, I can't find that hoodie. It's a Lions hoodie. It disappeared somewhere. Never found it. Somewhere between Ethiopia and here, it just disappeared. It sucks. It was my favorite hoodie at the time. Really, really sucks. I hope I ever got it, enjoyed it. There's when I won another trophy playing softball. Look at all those freckles on my arms, man. Yep. that was a team trophy, so we all got to take a photograph of it. I got the ribbon around my neck. When I used to walk every day, I collected aluminum cans because I can't stand them on the road. This was one of the times I turned in cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 13 bags of cans. I think that was like $100 some worth of aluminum. It's a lot of cans. I was first baseman. I could also play outfield, but in my older years, I wasn't playing the outfield. But I was still one of the fastest guys on the team. My last game, I injured my calf very badly, and I had to limp into third base. Almost got thrown out. Had to come out of the game. Is that in France? I got the World Cup 2023 jacket on. Where else would that be? In the mountains. Yeah, that's France 2023, I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember that photograph, to be honest. It's pretty wild. Oh, I know. That's when I went up to the mountain up there. That's right. Yep. And that is in 2018. My next to last, my penultimate graduation from Army War College for the students. My friend Chuck Allen, Jim DeCroco there. And that was our teaching team. Retired Army Colonel to an active Army Colonel, Reserve Lieutenant Colonel, and an active Air Force Colonel. The Air Force Colonel and the retired guy are pretty cool. Yep. So there you go. Yep. 2018. 8 years ago. Wow. You can see the difference in my hair color 8 years ago now. See that? Look at that. A lot darker. Yep. Anyway. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Anyway, so I did get my tickets, Loretta, yes. But afterwards, because you only have so much time, and the site was problematic. It was timing out. I had like refresh and go back. And, and twice I said add tickets, and it wouldn't add them. I had to buy tickets, go back, reload, check my basket, make sure they got in there. But I did get the tickets I wanted. Because I had a plan and I had it all mapped out, and even though the dates were wrong, the initial dates they released, I was able to sort it out. And the problem is in the order, they don't put them in the sequence that you order them, so you really have to make your own plan here. But I did get all the tickets I was looking for, including the first round of playoffs, which is in Perth, and that should be South Africa, which would give me a week in Western Australia, which is pretty cool. I didn't do a retirement ceremony, Holden. They asked me to do one. I didn't do one. No, I didn't do one. So... yeah, so again, for people who, nobody here, but turd balls that act like I think I'm all that in a bag of fries, and I don't have any humility, and I'm full of myself. Again, do you see any of those awards back here? Do you see any of my awards from the State Department, from the U.S. government, from the Liberian government, from the German government? All kinds of decorations, all kinds of achievements. Nothing. Not that I'm ashamed of them, but I don't boast about them. Also, no, I didn't do a retirement ceremony. Didn't do one. My retirement for me was the Rugby World Cup in Japan. So I worked until the very end. In fact, I did my medical, my medical exam while I was on holiday, because I had 2 months of leave saved up, and then I went to Japan. So I actually retired in Japan. So October 1st or September 30th was my last day in the Army, and in Japan I was still there. Let me take a look at Japan tickets here. Let me see. At Japan. So documents at Rugby World Cup Japan. Oh, I think I moved that to a different drive. Let me see where that's at. Shoot, that's a problem with running out of storage space. It's not there. Is it here? Where did I put those at? I got it somewhere. It pisses me off. So Rugby World Cup. No, is it here? Yeah, Rugby World Cup. No, that's not there. Where's Japan at? I got it somewhere. This is France and Women's World Cup. Just trying to find out where it's at, so. Somewhere I've got Rugby World Cup, but it's not here. That sucks. So that was 2019 Japan. I don't think it's listed on Japan. I think it's listed on the Rugby World Cup, so. No, definitely not there. So let me try this again. No. Shame. I got it somewhere. Must be on a drive I took off here, but that really sucks because I had the Rugby World Cup here. Japan. Anyway, I was going to show you where I went in Japan, but I don't have that handy. Where the hell did I put that at? I got to make a drive just for the World Cup, so I have all this stuff on the World Cups because those are memories. But yeah, yep, yeah. No. So anyway, so I was in Japan. The 30th was my last day in active duty. The next day, I was no longer active duty, but I still had my active duty ID card. And when I went into the Marine base at Ikujiwa, I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. When I went there, that's why I'm trying to find the image because I had all that stuff. I had a couple days growth because I hadn't been able to shave, and then the Marine at the gate saluted me. I saluted back, but I was already retired, which is kind of cool. And then I spent a night there, and then I continued on my trip. But that was kind of out of the way. It was a long way. I had to pay a taxi, a fortune to get from there to there. But I went to the exchange, walked to the exchange, got some stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Well, not at a game. I was retiring at the World Cup. I was in Japan. So my retirement date was 30 September is my last day. But no, I never did a retirement ceremony. I did it my way, exactly. Yeah. I'm not excited. It's a long way off, you know. I'm not 22 anymore. So, you know, you see people pass. You think about your longevity. You think about, you know, so I'll plan on it. I'm also planning 2031, but I don't think I'm going to go to many games in 2031. Not because of age, but because it's just going to be too hard to do. So I don't think unless I become wealthy. Suddenly I get 2 million subscribers and I get tons of money and people pay me to hear what I say about rugby. Maybe then it'll happen, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, so no, I don't have any photos of my retirement ceremony. Nope, I didn't do anything. Nope, just retired. They asked me, but I mean, I didn't think anybody really cared about it. I mean, it's, you know, it's to me, it's kind of sad because a lot of colonels come there and they retire out of there. Now, they tried to send me for another operational assignment before I retired, but I turned it down. And I said, I'll just retire. And they said, no, stay a little bit longer. We need somebody there. And so, they wanted to send me back to Africa Command. I didn't want to go to Africa Command as a colonel. And then I retire and I have no house. I'm not living in Germany. I got stuff in long-term storage in 3 different locations in America, and then I got to find a place to live. Got to find that's not going to work very well. So yeah. Anyway, plus I had this house. I would have had to maintain it and pay a ridiculous mortgage, or rent it out. Rent it out would have been easy. So yep. I guess I'm a little excited about it. It was a nail biter even for our side. The first time we got cut off. Cut off from what? Yeah, I'm barely moving on this thing here on the queue, but it's still going. So there's a lot of people trying to get in. So hopefully I didn't make a mistake in not buying the knockout round stuff. So, yep, anyway. So it's funny, they've already got the top 3 teams listed for the knockout stage, even though none of them have played games. If you look at this. Anyway, so, yeah. Oh, boy. All right, so Pam Golding in Mozambique. That's crazy. They're in it's Gambia National Day today. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. Gambia National Day. Yeah, it sure is. All right, so. On behalf of the United States, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to citizens of the Gambia as they celebrate 61 years of independence. As you mark this important milestone, we affirm the strong and lasting relationships between our nations. I look forward to deepening our collaboration by strengthening our bonds and advancing shared economic interest. The United States values the Gambia's unwavering partnership and engagement on international issues, reflecting our mutual dedication to fostering global peace and prosperity. I look forward to continuing our joint efforts and further enhancing the ties between our countries in the years to come. Marco Rubio. Yeah, he's making a name for himself, and definitely deserved. Definitely deserved. Yep. Okay, cool beans. Right, I finally found that. Here I am skiing. I think I've shown people this before. Let me show a few of these, save a few of these Rugby World Cup pictures here and show them to you. Gosh, it's slow. This one I like. And I'm wearing a Springboks scarf. That one's cool. Okay. And here's against Argentina. I went to the Argentina game against Scotland. Argentina won a game. That was when I stayed in the same floor as the Argentine national team for like 4 days. It was incredible. It was something else. Here's the Wales game. I can show you that picture too. Somebody took this picture of me. If it ever loads. Okay, Rugby World Cup. Wales versus Samoa. You can see great dedication to the game, definitely. Where's this at? Come on. Oh, here's Stonehenge, yeah. This is 2012 Stonehenge. I think when I went there for the Olympics to London. Okay, here we go. And here is, come on, load it up a little faster here. God, Facebook is so freaking slow. This is one of my favorite pictures here. This is Ngorongoro Crater. This is 2010. So that one I like. Let me show you that one. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, here, this is also the World Cup. Let me get that one real quick. This is with the guy who was the team captain. His mother is from Australia. His father is an American. And he was playing for the U.S. national team. In that game, he wasn't the captain because Todd Clever wasn't playing. So this is 2011. So Rugby World Cup 2011. Okay, that was a whole story in and of itself. This guy's eyes came out red. Not a very good camera. Oh, I see that we're not working again here, YouTube. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Right. Let me pull those up now. Okay. Downloads. Okay, here we go. So let me start with the skiing picture. Then I'll show you the USA guy. Okay, here we go. This is pretty cool. I hope you guys like this one. So this is the Rugby World Cup 2011. I went skiing. How cool was that? Look at that. Hey, Courtney, you're nodding off. Why are you nodding off? This is exciting stuff, man. Good to see you there. Hey, the Smiths, what's up? Check out. I've got the still got that scarf. That wasn't my jacket. I had to rent the jacket, and I bought a cap because I didn't have any ski clothes. I wasn't planning on skiing when I went there on short notice. But that's on a glacier. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I wiped out one time. Otherwise, that's the Scotland game against Argentina. Yes, I got that. I still got that coat, the Rugby World Cup 2011. And I've got that. I got a Springbok jersey on underneath that, which is ironic, and I've got a Scotland scarf. Oh, the Smiths aren't well. What happened? I didn't see that. Yeah, so I've got a Scotland hat. I've got yeah, I think it might be denial of service or something's happening, and then there's that jacket, which is stuff which probably doesn't fit me anymore. And then I have a Springbok jersey on underneath that and a Scotland scarf. That was pretty cool. That was a nice pitch. That's in Wellington. That's the first game. That was when I went to Wales. I bought that jersey. Still have it. And that cap. Still got it. 2011 World Cup. That was pretty cool. My first game. You can see the screen behind me. You see Wales and Samoa on the screen. Whoops. That's Stonehenge. Obviously. I don't think you can get that close anymore, can you? I don't think that's even allowed anymore. There you go. That's in Ngorongoro Crater. And blue eyes are coming through there. You can see the crater behind me. It's a selfie I took. Still have that jacket. I use that whenever I travel. Still using that. I've had that thing for 25 years or something like that. It's pretty cool. And there's back to 2011 World Cup. That's the visitor jersey. And that's with Tim Uaz, who was the acting captain that night. Yep. This was at the hotel where the U.S. team was staying at. If they got slaughtered by the Australians, the Wallabies crushed them. Oh, you knew I was a Druid, eh? How are we doing over here in the? Still got the. USA 6-3 against Denmark in that curling match. Well, it's not working very well. Now I can't even get the curling. That's not even streaming. I'm just going to close that.
Everyone getting into curling.
Yeah, I'll close that. Close a lot of these things. I don't need them anymore. Do you know Iceland has Olympians out there? It's pretty cool. Iceland has Olympians. I get some skiers. They haven't done very well, though. Yeah, it might be solar spots. Who knows? Anyway, but yeah. So those are kind of cool pictures. Yeah. So the Rugby World Cups, I've had some pretty epic ones. The first one was amazing. To me, it's Japan became the best one. Japan was the best Rugby World Cup for me. France was okay. I enjoyed France, but it was brutally hot. It was miserable. Yeah. Whereas in New Zealand, I went skiing, in the summertime there. Yeah. And then the England one was pretty good too, but it was a little hectic getting from place to place. Yeah. Yeah. So surprised. And if I could lose 10 or 15 pounds, I could really be surprised. Keep my hair short. Maybe I'll dye my hair blonde, or red. What's going on with the Smiths are not well? I didn't see that. A nail biter the first time you got cut off. Oh, I didn't get cut off. I ended the stream because I had to go buy the tickets. Broke the Ref G news. What you talking about? Yes, I'm still awake, Atmospheric, because I had a stream I did earlier, and I had to wait 4 hours to buy my tickets, and I got my tickets. Well, it's just a printout of what they are. What the hell's going on over there? I'm way behind on that. Okay. Yep, so I got my tickets for the Rugby World Cup, so I was updating that. So I need to try to buy 2 more here, which will be one for the next day and one for the next week. And where I'm at in the queue. Well, I'm making progress in the queue, but I'm not going to stay up all night. I'll just get up in the morning. Hopefully I can get these tickets. Yep. So I've got 9 tickets right now. So that's one of the lower amounts of games. Yep. But it's tough. Tough to get these tickets because they're just so far apart. You got to do something that's manageable. One thing about it is now I've cut down the number of flights by 1 because I couldn't get that 1 ticket, so Newcastle, so I've cut them down. But I was actually going to rent a car and go between Newcastle and Sydney, or take the train, which is probably better. I probably rent a car in Perth, maybe in Brisbane, but beyond that I probably won't rent a car because other stuff will be all public transport, I think, for this. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. But the planning for these World Cups takes a long time. I always plan well in advance. I get out there, I plan everything. It goes pretty smoothly. So how long have I been online now? Let me see. An hour or so. Okay. You guys like the photos? Thanks. Silver's a trademark. No hair color. Please don't mess with the brand. Yeah, but I want to look young again. I always look pretty young until I started growing this beard. Tickets can be a little pricey. Well, I got crappy categories and still paid. So I paid category 3, 90 Australian dollars. So that's 60 US dollars, $65. That's Argentina versus Fiji. France versus Japan, I got a category 5, and that cost $5 more for a worse seat because it's France and Japan. Ireland, Portugal, I got category 4. Japan versus USA, I splurged because the top ticket was only $120, so that's about $80 US. So, I'll get one really good seat, hopefully. And then the playoffs, I got category 5, category 4. There's only 5 or 6 categories. Category 4 for South Africa versus Georgia, I splurged. That was too much. South Africa versus Italy was a much better deal. I got category 5 for that. South Africa versus Romania, I got myself a better ticket there, category 3. I put a little bit in that. And then Wales versus Zimbabwe, I got myself a category 2. That was pretty good. So most of the tickets are around $90, $95 Australian, so they're not cheap. They announced it on their channel. I don't know what they announced, El Marie. I'm not on their channel. Why does everybody keep me in the dark? Is everything okay? The Smiths are here. Are they okay? If it's private, don't tell me, but you said they announced on the channel, so. It's a lot of rands, yeah. Well, I put money aside to pay for this. So I've been saving money to pay for these because I expect that. And that's just a start. Then I got to figure out travel, flights, trains, planes, automobiles. Yeah, got to figure all that out too. And then lodging. The lodging will probably be the biggest expense, but I'll see what I can figure out. But since I'm well in advance now, if I start planning the lodging this far out, it should be all right. Oh, that's not good. That sucks. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. That affects your liver. That's terrible. That's terrible. Good news is they have medication for it, so which type it is. So, as a service member, I've been vaccinated against H, Hep A, B, C, and I think D or F or something like that. Yeah, they don't have vaccines for all of them, but they have the ones they do. So, yep. Nicola wants to carry bags. Well, it's probably going to be one bag. I'm going to have to pack very light. Yeah. So it will be summertime there. So I'll take shorts and a couple pairs of trousers, but that's it. But mostly shorts. Yeah. So the only time I ever take a rugby jersey to the World Cup is I take the World Cup jersey of that time. So since I have a USA game and I have South Africa games, I will take a USA jersey and a South Africa jersey as soon as they're available. So the USA is back in the World Cup, but they're not going to do very well. I don't think they're going to do very well. They got a long road to hoe. So in the pools, let me take a look at the pools we have here. So I'm about 30% through the queue, but I'm not going to stay up because I'm going to go to bed here shortly. So the men's pools, South Africa is in Pool B with Italy, Georgia, and Romania. USA is in Pool E with France, Japan, and Samoa. That's a tough pool. They're not going to beat France. They won't beat Japan, and they're going to be hard-pressed to beat Samoa, so they're probably going to go 0-3 in this. That sucks. If they can beat Samoa, and Samoa loses Japan and France, then they can advance, which would be cool, which they've never done. So they have a chance here, but they got to focus on that Samoa game. And the game I'm going to is against Japan. At least that's the one I have a ticket for. So, yeah, Japan will probably beat them there. Unless Japan goes, their quality goes down, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. So, yeah, the internet's been wonky. Really strange. Now I'm not even getting to my mail. And I don't think it's, yeah, there it is finally. I don't think it's the speed of the internet. Let me check my speed here real quick. Quickly, I should say. Use the language properly, Chris. Now I'm getting download. I'm getting 661 download. I'm getting 30 upload. So my connection isn't the problem. It's the internet. Something's going on with the internet. Yeah, I don't wear flip-flops, so except in the shower. That's shower wear. It's not footwear. I don't know. You're not going to see me wearing that in the footwear. Well, about 40% through the queue here. Wow, that's going pretty fast. Okay. Anyway, all right, so I want to come back and let you guys know that I had success. We did have success, so just got to try for a few more here, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll double-check to make sure I didn't screw this up with the games and then try to do Melbourne. That would give me 5 of the 7. I'd like to go to as many of the destinations as possible. And Melbourne, I actually know someone there. During the World Cup, we had my viewer who was in Melbourne. Yeah, so hopefully that would be cool to go meet with him and meet his daughter. That would be super cool. And also go to Melbourne. So, and I haven't looked at going to Tasmania. I got to see if I've got a window where I can go to Tasmania. That would be cool. I'd love to see Tasmania while I'm there. I'd hate to miss it. So I have to figure that one out too. So, yep, that would be cool. That would be so cool, so cool. Tasmania for a few days. Anyway, yeah, well, hopefully you've got the medical aid started so that you can go get treatment for that. Sorry to hear that. Yep. Well, Nicola, you would think you can. See, first off, media show footage from games and not for that they record, and they never get strikes. But during the Rugby World Cup in France, I was attacked. I nearly lost my Rugby Ascendant channel over 3 fraudulent copyright strikes. Not claims, it's strikes. I got a strike from someone that claimed they were with the Rugby World Cup. It wasn't a Rugby World Cup email address over using the logo. Now, the logo is a trademark, but it was used in a fair use sense. Fair use, I used it to promote rugby, and it was a small portion of an image. I had an image with Nas Bota on there and myself on there and a picture that I took of France and talking about the World Cup. And then the symbol was there, small, fair use, and I got 2 copyright strikes, and I ignored them. Then I got a 3rd copyright strike. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my channel in a week if I don't do something. So then I timed it so I could refute the first one. I refuted it so it would be in dispute, so they couldn't take the channel away while it was being resolved. And then when that week ended, I did the second one to resolve it, and then 2 of those strikes came off, but the 3rd one never came off. And the 3rd one, actually the first one was because I recorded my video. I recorded. No sound, no announcers from the television announcers, no use of World Rugby, no use of broadcasters' rights. I recorded my experience of the game and showed footage, 2 short clips for like 45 seconds. And the first one I got a strike on. I quickly took the other ones down. Like, what the hell? That was the first game I went to. And so I got a strike. And I ignored it. Then I got 2nd strike for the trademark. I'm like, what the hell? Then I got 3rd strike for the trademark. And I refuted, and I got 2 of those taken off. But they never took the other one off. the two, if they don't come back and provide the evidence, then the strike gets removed. But they get to put a strike on you, whether it's legitimate or not, and they harm my channel. So I quit putting stuff on there. I nearly lost my Rugby Ascendant channel, and that really pissed me off. I've done hundreds of broadcasts on there. Yep. Not sorted. Okay. All right. No, so Nicola, you can't really record at those matches. It sucks. It's just so messed up. Well, Wednesday's a busy day. Oh, I'm actually over halfway through here. Oh, and it's jumping forward fast. Wow. Maybe I'll get through in a few. I just jumped like a quarter of the way. So maybe I'll get back in. I'll be able to sort out those other two games. That would be cool. Biggest firearm sale at Safari Outdoors. 168 million of firepower. Well, that's some pretty cool looking weapons there. The Steyr SSG M1. Wow, that's cool. Got a Browning shotgun, 12 gauge, adjustable stock. Wow. It's so hard to get a license to buy firearms there, but there's something. Well, this thing is real. I want one of those. That looks cool. The Steyr SSG M1. 198,000 Rand. Whew. That's a lot of money. 198,000. Oh, never mind. Oh, hang on a second. Well, that's $12,000, man. That's not, I can't afford something like that. That's nice. Steyr SSG M1. Wow. Let's see what the price is. Here it's 7,500. It's 12,000 in South Africa. Damn, that's expensive. What do I do with that thing? Start a war? Oh, their servers aren't working. Great. Well, I'm 2/3 way through the queue. I might stay up to get those other tickets now, if I'm moving that fast. Wow, that's crazy. And the VFW is trying to sell me life insurance. I don't need life insurance. Thank you so much. I'm glad your tickets sorted, at least most of them. Yeah, mostly they're mostly sorted. Millgun firing knife is interesting. Okay, thank you for that. Yes, I know who Steyr is. I know. Steyr Bullpup is one of the most famous rifles out there. So it's kind of weird looking, very popular with some militaries, not just the Austrians. Anyway. Yeah, Nicola, so recording the matches is a problem. But I can interview people for it. I was going to do that in France, but it didn't work out. People don't really want to chat, so I thought it would work out well. Yeah, but what I did was summaries and talk about the game and stuff like that. So, but it wasn't very popular. That other guy who's rich, he's incredibly wealthy, has a boat and goes everywhere. Was Egg Chasers. He started a channel, and that channel is probably bigger than my channel now. Let me see. Egg Chasers Rugby, and we were all both doing it, and I got strikes. We both started out around the same size, and then I think Egg Chasers Rugby. Yeah, let's see how long he's been around. It's a rich guy. He's got 166,000 subscribers. Yeah. Yep, he gets a lot of views. 1,400 views, 1,400 videos. Yep, he got 117,000, so maybe it looks like his stuff is getting better. But he's made himself a brand. He's already a really wealthy guy. Let me see. He started in 2017. Huh. He's got 51 million views. Yep. Got 11 million more than I have. And gaining ground on me. Egg Chasers. I think that's the channel I'm talking about. Yep. Hey, Mui Nui, what's going on, man? What's going on? What are you up to? I'm about 70% through this queue. I might have to stick around for this. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, so there you have it. Sister could barely eat, and that was the only option for her to get nutrients. Don't know if it's the same. Yeah, it's hey, Meerkat. I don't know. That's some tough stuff there, and I'm sorry that's not sorted out, but that should be sorted out. I mean, why do you need CalMed? Don't they give you Medicaid? I mean, you're a family, so I think you get Medicaid. That's crazy. I mean, so many South Africans come over here and they've got so many medical issues, and not just PTSD. I mean, I'm seeing it over and over again. Cancers, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's just insane. So many South Africans come here with so many medical problems. It's crazy. I mean, how healthy is South Africa? Near your nostril, says Holden. Okay. Well, I'm left-handed, so I got to be careful with rifles anyway because the rounds, the casings eject into my face. So, yep. Mossberg, tactical pump with collapsible stock 600. Yeah, hey, Light Rain, there you go. Mossberg, good 12-gauge shotgun. Yep. Yeah, Mossberg's a good choice. And I went to the outdoor store show, not this year, but a few years ago in Harrisburg, which is, I think, just ended this past weekend or this weekend. Man, they had a whole section there of handguns, but the Mossberg, they were there, the dealer, the company. It was awesome. It was awesome. Oh, you got jabbed. Okay. I'm about 75% there. Wow. It's now 5:42, and so the site's been open for 5+ hours now. Wow. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Anyway. Yep. Oh, my goodness. The Gambia National Day. Who knew? Well, check this out. I'll show you guys this. See if you like this. This is in Bavaria. So it's a little town not too far from Garmisch. So this is where I went for a conference. Let me see if I can show you this. Pull that up. See if you like this picture. This is taken with not the best camera, so, but you can see what the places look like. That's Bavaria. Yep, pretty cool. Oh, wait, no, that is Garmisch. Excuse me, that's Garmisch, yeah. That's right, I'm just realizing that's Garmisch. That's not the town here, guys. Partenkirchen, actually. That's Partenkirchen, yep. Actually, went there and had dinner in one of these restaurants there. Pretty good dinner with some of my colleagues, yep. Yep, that's Partenkirchen, sorry. I was thinking of somewhere else, but that's actually Partenkirchen. So Garmisch is a dual town of Garmisch and Partenkirchen, which is pretty cool. Oh, here's the Rugby World Cup, or not Rugby, the Soccer World Cup. You won't find me many pictures of Soccer World Cup, that's for sure. So this is at Loftus in 2010. FIFA World Cup. Okay, let me pull this one up here and see that was there. Excuse me. What was that? Somebody just did something. Just became a subscriber. I can barely see it. It's so small. So here I am in 2010 at Loftus. Denmark versus Cameroon. That's when that idiot blew the vuvuzela back of my neck. Oh, it was crazy. I'm sure I got the Denmark shirt somewhere. It's pretty lame. The FIFA World Cup, they did not have very good stuff. Not a well-attended game. That's how I was able to get a ticket. Yep. Donnell Broderick thanking me for the videos. You're very welcome. Unfortunately, they're not getting many views these days. Or YouTube's not telling me how many views they're getting. Let me see how I'm doing on this queue. Oh, I better go, guys. I'm getting close to the end of the queue. All right. There's just too many things that destroy our health. That's true in South Africa, especially living in the Vol Triangle. You're very welcome. Nicola, I don't like the beard. But it's become a trademark, so I'd like to shave it off, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. Yep. So, but it is well known, so it's come off eventually. I've said that for the better part of a year, but I've shortened it a few times, so we'll see. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for popping in for the second stream. Really appreciate it. Have a good one. I'm going to go see if I can't get in those last tickets, okay? Thank you very well. Thank you very well. Thank you very much. I was reading what somebody wrote. Cheers. See you later today. We got early news at 5:30 and 10:30 my time, and then Ronaldo. And then I'm on the radio tomorrow night. Plus, I'm meeting a South African tomorrow, if things go well, in the afternoon. Who's up my way? Cheers.